Now, in a debate in the House of Commons this week, the Labour MP Clive Lewis called on Rishi Sunak to enter negotiations with Caribbean leaders on paying reparations for Britain's role in slavery, which he described as a 400-year-old abusive relationship.
The government remains firm in stating that they will not offer reparations. However, some believe the move is morally necessary. Joining us now for more analysis is the director of the anti-racism group Don't Divide Us, Dr Alka Sehgal-Cuthbert. Good morning to you. So, do you think really that the UK does owe the Caribbean countries some debt, some reparations, an apology for what's gone on?
No, I think the idea of reparations based on historical sins of the past is really wrong-headed. I mean, if you start doing that, where are you going to stop? You know, I mean, it can just, I think all that will happen is that it's going to encourage claim making. A lot of lawyers and ancestry DNA companies might do well out of it. But the people whose lives most need improving today, it's not going to do anything for them. I mean, I think the potential consequences of it are going to be could be quite horrible, really. Can you imagine sort of families kind of ransacking their personal histories to see whether they have got any kind of descendant of slavery and making claims? And what if you're mixed race, and sort of, I'm from India. One half of my family did very well out of the Raj. Another half was kind of really disrupted through partition. So, I mean, you can just see how kind of in psychosocial terms, it's an utter disaster.
So in the seas, the greater division going forward.
Yeah. Alka, the argument, I guess, is and was in Parliament this week that the UK has enriched itself through slavery, the benefits from which that we're still enjoying today, and that the Caribbean countries have been made poorer as a result of slavery, the negative effects of which they're still suffering from today, and therefore there's a moral reason why the UK should therefore offer money to those Caribbean countries in order to put that right and to reflect that's what's happened. What would you say to people who make that argument? Because that was very much the argument that was made.
Yeah, but you know what? I think that's a really patronising view, and I think it's a very historically illiterate view. It's like history stopped 150 years ago. It's, somebody from, an Indian intellectual said, whatever condition Britain left India in, the point is what have we made of it? What has the Caribbean made of whatever legacies was left of when the British left there? And to think that the problems these countries face today are connected to something that happened like 150, 200 years ago, rather than, say, the global systems of patents, of shared research, through the world, through global corporations today. This just avoids looking at that. And instead, you're kind of left fixated looking at the past. It's all very symbolic. I can totally understand why corporates and governments want to go down this route, because it avoids looking at what we do today.
I was looking at individuals who've decided to pay over reparations. You saw sort of Laura Trevelyan's family. Now she's a sort of BBC sort of America correspondent, but their family had plantations. And she's saying personally she's going to hand over £100,000 and she's going to sign an apology. Now, in a way, I think if an individual wants to do that or set up a charitable foundation, would you have a problem with that?
No. Because I'm a Democrat and I rather like freedom, and if an individual wants to do that, then they should be free to do so. But the problem is when you then start making claims for the whole of society and for governments and institutions to start, basically selectively using history in a way that kind of makes it a political weapon to demand that people today who had nothing to do with the sins of yesterday pay money to people who were not victims of the sins of yesterday. I mean, that needs a very, very strong justification, and I don't think we've got it. So I don't think we should be doing it.